Hey guys, and welcome back to Super Mario Galaxy. The time has finally come. Yes, Lewis, I hear you sighing over there. It's time for the Trial Galaxies.
Hooray.
Yeah.
These are fun. Why are you complaining about them?
Allow me to be the opposite. Oh boy! The Green Trial Galaxies. Did it sound forced?
Yeah, it really did sound forced.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't look. There's only one galaxy I hate among these three, and that's the Rolling Gizmo. If that's the correct name. This one right here, actually.
That's why I started with it, John.
Oh, do you like to get the bullshit out of the way first? Are you like me?
Well, no, I find this kind of fun actually.
I'm going to be the exact opposite on that one. Rolling Gizmo Galaxy is the one that offends me the least. Because while you have to go through it really slowly and arduously, it's not that long. Like, it's really not. It doesn't take me nearly as long as the bubble blowing level.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. They kind of brought this back in the second game, and for the life of me, I can't remember what the name of that galaxy is.
I know which one you're talking about, but I can't help you with the name department either. I can do some quick research if you want me to, while you painstakingly roll your way to victory in this unnecessary... You know, you say that this doesn't feel long. I disagree. I feel the length of this.
It feels longer than it is, honestly, but it doesn't have that many sections to it, I guess I should say. It's like, okay, we have this area made of cogs, and then we're pretty much done.
Ryan, what's your take on this whole motion control malarkey, mate? I can probably guess, but I'd rather hear it from thine own lips.
I don't hate it. I think the lack of edges to the so-called joystick kind of hampers it a little bit, but I like the idea at least.
I'm not really sure what the joystick has to do with anything here, mate.
No, I mean holding it like a joystick.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. This would be a lot easier with an analog stick.
Oh, absolutely. But, you know, that's part of the challenge they want you to conquer is, you know, dealing with the Wii motion control.
Solve my bullshit control scheme.
And it's still gonna make millions.
I'm just gonna say, I'll be the opposite here as well. And that'll be interesting, have a commentary where it's nothing but opposite opinions from beginning to end. But I didn't have as much trouble with the motion controls for rolling and Manta Ray surfing as other people have. That being said, I will agree that multiple control schemes probably would have been the best, you know, compromise.
Maybe, maybe not. We'll never know. The galaxy you were thinking of, Tom, is Rolling Masterpiece.
Okay.
That is the name of it.
That is a really dumb name. Like, I don't even think it has a pun. It's just attach the word rolling to something and throw the ball into it.
Well, it's
Yeah,
self-explanatory. Okay. What are you going to be doing in this galaxy? Rolling? Okay, got it, let's go. That's right, you can't counter my superior logic.
More like we stopped caring.
Yeah, I don't care enough to want it.
Wow.
But not a bad run, all things considered.
Don't try and backtrack now, you asshole.
What's up next?
Actually, that was a very good run. You were fairly daring with how quickly you rolled through that.
You didn't suck as much as you could have done. Anyway, we're going to go to basically what is an upgrade of the first Manta Ray surfing one, and this one's pretty decent as well. Suck it, Lewis.
It's, you know, I just think it's too wavy, it's too bouncy, it's too...
There's too much water here.
7.8 out of 10.
No, it's not how much water there is. It's how uneven the water is. You're always being thrown up into the air. Too many jumps.
Like I think we said for Surfing 101, the first level of this trope, you don't want to be holding down the acceleration button ever. You want to be pumping it. And like last time, they give you more than enough time to finish this galaxy. So just control your speed and you'll be fine.
Just do tippity-tip taps instead of...
I would be totally fine with that. It's just that because of the way the waves are always rolling underneath you and you're always being thrown up into the air by them, it becomes something that you need to just... It's like you wanna at least build up some semblance of speed here, but the first time you play, especially the first time, you're going to be, just going really slow through this, because otherwise you get thrown up into the air. You can't really steer while you're in the air, so you're going to be thrown off the track if you're even vaguely reckless at this. The only time you're going to race through this racetrack is after you've beaten it, and you are, for whatever reason, trying to beat your own time.
Now, is it possible at all, and I asked this to all of you, to take shortcuts in this level?
With a game genie, maybe? Just fly through the air on the Manta Ray?
I'm sure it's possible in some form, but who really knows?
Has any other psycho ever, done this on YouTube?
Yeah, that's a good point. I could probably just find the answer by just looking it up on YouTube.
Yeah, please do.
It's like looking at that particular turning area that we were just going through is a good example of what I was talking about, though. This area is very narrow, considering how bouncy it is.
It's only bouncy if you're mashing the acceleration button, though. Because you need speed in order to bounce. And so, again, if you're just pumping the accelerator, you're going to be fine.
I love how John and I are, completely against Lewis on this one. It's great.
The varying opinions are the spice of life!
You've got a racetrack that you have to slow down to win. Really slow down. Not just on turns, but slowing down the whole way.
Straightaways, you can hold down the button, it's fine.
It's like driving a NASCAR track at 30 miles an hour.
Yeah. You should see just the grimace on my face right now. I worked hard to unlock these galaxies and put them on the table, and you kids are just completely ungrateful about it.
First off, I'm diabetic, and you're giving me nothing but sugar.
Well, that kind of backfired. I'm just never going to make a joke again. Well, that's fine, you never made one before, says everyone else.
I'm just going to take off my jetpack now.
So welcome to the Adventures of Suicidal Tom and the Brain Scratch Bastards.
But the two galaxies we've been through so far, I'm just sort of ambivalent toward. I somewhat enjoy rolling Gizmo, and the surfing thing is just something that I have to endure for 30 seconds, so that's fine. No, I'm sorry, a minute and 30 seconds.
It's like 30 seconds, Lewis with those speedrunning strats.
This galaxy is the one I outright don't like, because it's such an endurance run. It's like, I don't mind. I can get through it fine. I can get through it just fine without dying now, even. But even if you get through it without dying, you're going to be here for a long while.
They're the trial galaxies, not the fucking cakewalk galaxies.
No, it's not even hard. It just takes a long time.
Rosalina, take the wheel.
There's no cruise control on this thing. I don't find this galaxy at all bad. I never really had a problem with any of with the bubble gimmick in Galaxy 1, so I can agree that it overstays its welcome just a tad, but not enough to make me hate going towards it,
I will say the first half of this is a cakewalk. Second half, kind of annoying because we're going to be chased by bullet bills.
Do you want to know what's really annoying? If you have to pause and go take out the trash or go do chores in the middle of this level when you've already done half the star chips, and then you get back and you get to the center part and you realize you've forgotten which ones you've already done.
But that's not Galaxy's fault, damn it.
Yeah, that's not Nintendo's fault. They don't have to budget and whatnot for your garbage taking out responsibilities.
Well, they could have just made the pipes disappear or given you some indication of which star chips you've already picked up.
Alright, fair enough.
I mean, for a game company that constantly reminds you in your games to take 15-minute breaks every now and then, they really didn't budget for those 15-minute breaks in this level, did they?
This was before that era of hand-holding, alright? The Wii was like, for all the shit people give Wii for being casualized, it didn't hold people's hands nearly as much as, say, Super Mario 3D Land does.
No, because your hand was too busy holding the Wiimote.
I guess that was partly because the super casual focus of the Wii brought the video games way into the focus of soccer moms and stuff, and then those soccer moms complained about their kids playing too much. I don't know. And then they decided, yeah, you know what, with this console, which we are blatantly not aiming at that audience, we're going to pay special care that audience is pleased.
But that's strategy really backfired for Nintendo. They're like, oh, we'll go with a kind of like inclusive kind of system, you know, easy to pick up and play, and then nobody wanted that anymore. Yeah.
It was because the game library was way too, you know, focused on that one audience. It's like, the Wii had a lot of really, really great first-party exclusives. And it had a couple good third-party games, I think.
Like Red Steel, just to throw one out there.
Like No More Heroes, but oh wait, that's a PlayStation 3 game now. Whoops.
Hey, it still has a sequel.
Yeah, which isn't as good.
That's a discussion for another day, 'cause I'll disagree in terms of gameplay, but... I see where you guys are getting at. It's just... You know, amidst the fantastic first party and the decent quality third party titles, it's just a mass of shovelware and super fucking casual titles that the Wii is infested with. Yeah.
That's pretty much my point. Is like the good games get buried, and then there aren't enough really great ones to sell the system. What really sold the system was how frickin' cheap it was.
Oh yeah.
So it's like even if there aren't that many games that you're interested in on the system, you know, it costs so little to get that you had no excuse not to get it.
And also, stuff like Wii Sports really showed off what the Wii motion controller can do. Like, you can use it as like a tennis racket, you can use it to simulate a bowling motion. Stuff with like Nintendo Land, not really. I mean, it tried to show off the asymmetrical gameplay and whatnot, but who really gives a shit? I mean, it's sort of interesting. Don't really do much for gaming as a whole.
Yeah, because the game, when it comes to what the gamepad does differently than what your standard controller is, not much. It's just a standard controller with a screen.
Well, now when I think about it, doesn't Nintendo Land have a fair amount of Wii Remote and Nunchuck stuff mixed in?
For multiplayer purposes.
Yeah, it's like, for example, the Legend of Zelda game. There's the, you can be the archer with the gamepad, or you can be the swordsman with the Wii Remote. And that I found interesting, because it was two completely different ways to play essentially the same game.
Well, the only thing I'll say left for this conversation is that if you're looking for a great title on the Wii, look at the price. If it's expensive, it's most likely good.
If it's got a Nintendo stamp on it and isn't Metroid Other M, it's most likely good.
Oh, damn. Moving on. Welcome back to the Gateway in Galaxy. Gate, for short. We're going to go have a word with Rosalina. Seems she's being a bit pensive right now.
Now, there's no indication to go back here, is there? Like...
apart from the fact that the door is here. It's like at some point you're going to walk through that door just to see what's in here.
It is a bit of an odd area to bring back, though. Like, you usually just pass it off as, yeah, this is the tutorial area, I catch 3 bunnies here, and I'm good to go. And then they bring it back for another power-up, which I wasn't expecting. It's not like Game Break or anything like that, it's just a little odd detail that I couldn't help but notice.
How do we feel about this power-up, which is going to pop up in a second? Ryan, what were your thoughts when you first encountered the red star?
It was really fun, but the fact that they never used it made it kind of pointless.
And here's the purple coins. We'll be getting really deep into these guys later on, but for the time being, they're mostly just used for tutorial purposes. We've got to grab this power-up here, collect 100 of these babies, and we shall get another power star. So let's see what effects this red star has.
Well, I think the major downfall of this power-up is that you only have one analog stick.
I like Mario's outfit, though.
Frankly, the only real control you have is that stop-and-go kind of thing. I feel like if you had a camera control on your other analog stick, which conspicuously doesn't exist on the Wii, you would have just more control over where Mario is flying. I guess that doesn't really matter, since you only ever get to use this on in the Comet Observatory.
It is basically just a shortcut to get to other domes and the like. But, John, you reviewed Mario 64. How do you feel this compares to the flying cap?
I like this a lot more than the wing cap. I'm gonna say that right now. Maybe it's an unpopular opinion, don't really care, but, this is flight. This is not gliding.
Boo hiss.
That was the one thing I thought the wing cap should have been completely for Mario 64. Complete flight. A big missed opportunity, just to say it out there, because if you're not gonna beat around the bush with the wing cap in 64. We had Power Star missions that utilized the wing cap exclusively. So why you didn't do that with the Red Star for Galaxy is beyond me. And I just think it controls a lot better. I think it's pretty fun to use. It's flight. Who doesn't like flying? Unless you're Superman 64. But I gotta say though, at the times I've played Galaxy, it took me the longest to realize that spinning in midair while flying attracts purple coins to you.
Oh yeah, that actually works underwater as well. So just for future reference, when you do the Deep Dark Galaxy Purple Coin mission, that will come in handy.
I've actually never used the red flight cap enough to know that, so I learned something today.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I like flying Mario, like Ryan said. I think his music... Was it his music or his outfit that you mentioned, Ryan?
His outfit.
Well, I like his outfit and his music, so I'm just going to one-up you right there. The flight mechanic, I do like the fact you can, pause in midair and, re-aim. It's a little bit finicky, especially on, a planetoid like this. But otherwise, it's just kind of fun. Just do it at your own pace, really. I can see why people would think it's kind of a downgrade, though, and it is definitely underused, and that's putting it lightly.
Rouge the Bat, take notes. This is how you fly with anti-gravity gimmicks. Because I don't think Mario ever has to worry about mad space syndrome, even in a small planetoid like this.
On the rare occasion he does, but not often enough for it's a problem.
I've never had it happen to me.
I think it's only ever happened to me in Mario Galaxy 2, where there are extremely small planetoids. Yeah, those can kind of screw with your control.
Well, I was talking specifically with the Red Star power-up. Because I've had instances where Mario runs in circles for a few seconds, because he can't decide where he wants to go.
With the Red Star power-up, all we really have is this one planetoid and the decidedly non-spherical Comet Observatory. So there isn't really a chance to test it in that respect.
Well, nothing stopping you from reusing the Red Star over and over again, but there's no point. There's no real point in using it in the Comet Observatory, besides getting from one dome to another quickly and to get those extra lives you can only get with the Red Star.
Well, the problem with flying in mad space had to do more with entering and exiting a given planet's gravity.
Even when you're already in said planet to begin with.
In any case, that was Flying Mario. That was the introduction of the purple coins, and now we've actually beaten the Gates mission. The final Hungry Luma will show itself.
What does it want this time?
And that one Power Star just flew off to become collectibles in every Sonic game from now on.
Goodbye.
We see the green stars return in Galaxy 2, but the red stars are just never mentioned again.
To this day, I think it's an exclusive colored star for Galaxy alone, isn't it?
Yeah.
They never bring the red star back ever again.
I don't care what people say. This is fun, alright? Sometimes you just want a little bit of whimsy, a little bit of downtime.
Yeah. And you want to collect... I mean, it's not like there's nothing to do while you're like this. You got extra lives to collect. Galaxy doesn't save your lives when you load up your save file. They won't learn their lesson from that until, I think, 3D World.
I think there's a grand total of 2 that you need the red star to collect. The one underneath this platform we're standing on, and the one way up on the spire. Every other life in the overworld that I'm aware of, you can reach without the flight. Although getting the flight star does help get them more easily. Like there's one over by the beacon that you have to maneuver around on moving platforms to get to, and it's obviously easier to just fly to it.
All right, you can just long jump to it because there's no risk of dying in the common observatory. If you fall off the observatory, you're caught and then you're taken back to where you fell off.
Yeah, Rosalina uses her space magic to bring you back.
You dumbass! What are you doing?
As a matter of fact, the bubble takes you to the last still platform you were standing on. So if you jump off, like, say, the area around the bookshelf, and spin jump your way to that extra life, and then just fall, you'll get warped back to safe ground, and it's a lot faster than jumping your way back.
Okay, here we go, the last Luma Galaxy, and it's actually a race, a rematch against the Big Boo, actually.
Race in quotes. I find this a very easy galaxy.
I think this was like my second or third take. I would definitely recommend taking the shortcut, because it's quite challenging otherwise.
Yeah, the wind is your friend in this galaxy.
Yeah, it's kind of like the bubble blowing thing. In fact, it handles almost exactly like the bubble blowing thing. Except you're always being blown down.
And that's exactly why you want to ride the wind in this case.
You fall really slowly, which is kind of awkward.
Unless you're constantly shaking the Wiimote. Because for whatever reason, when you're shaking the Wiimote while going downwards, Mario gets a boost of speed. So it's advisable that you keep doing that. I have never once ever hit in those springs on the way down.
Really?
Do they take you back? Yeah, I never touched those springs ever. Do they send you back a considerable distance?
I would imagine so. That's what springs usually do.
Yeah, but you're also a ghost.
Unfortunately, if you're just a little too slow on the draw with turning transparent on those downward walls, you will stop. And that can be a bit of a speed bump.
Nobody's going to mention the pile of murdered victims.
We don't have enough time, unfortunately. But I don't like to think about the implications of that. Thank you.
But how did they get here? Were they victims of the race too? Did they fail? All these questions and more, I guess. Please join us next time for the final part of Mario's journey. See you then.